What's up, guys? I'm Youngster Skaymore, and today I'm going to talk about the Nintendo E3 2017 Spotlight. Basically, Nintendo this year, if you don't know, last year they barely had a presence at E3 at all, and then in the couple years before that, they've been having directs, which were usually about 45 minutes long. This year, they had what was basically a direct, but it was only about 25 minutes long, and they didn't have any gameplay demos, just trailers, and then afterwards in the Treehouse live streams for the next few days, they showed gameplay of most of the games that they talked about. Sorry that I didn't get these reactions up earlier. The direct happened on Tuesday, now it's Saturday, so it's been a while. Sorry, I've had a busy week. It's my second to last week of school, so I had a lot going on. I got finals next week, so pretty busy, but it's not a big deal. And I really want to talk about this because so much happened. I'm so excited about it, so happy about it. I'd love to talk about every E3 presentation, but unfortunately I won't really be able to. So I might make another video where I just talk about the standouts of every other some of the rest of E3 to me. But Nintendo is my favorite publisher, so that is the one that is most important to me, that I definitely want to talk about the most. So without further ado, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna basically go through the spotlight and just talk about everything they showed in order that they showed. So they started off with just a montage of some of the games that they had already announced that are coming out soon, like Splatoon and ARMS, which not really that much I have to say about it. Cool, I guess. ARMS came out just yesterday. I've not gotten it. I don't think I'm going to get it because I didn't really enjoy the test punch that much, but I'm not completely sure yet. Who knows? Maybe I'll get it a little down the line. And then next, Reggie came on, and this was a little weird. He talked... I need to make this on screen. Sorry, I'm just changing screens on my end a little bit so I can still see everything that's going on. Actually, you know what? It's fine. So then Reggie came on, and he had this really... Normally, Reggie says things that are kind of funny and memey, and they're just they shouldn't be funny, but they're just funny to us, knowing Reggie. But this one was just weird. It was just a really weird speech. It was here, I want to click captions and I don't know. It was just really weird. It's video games are battle. You are, if you're on a quest, you are a battle. I don't know. It was just a really weird thing. It was just, I don't know. It was dumb. It was a dumb speech. But whatever. It took a little bit of time. I don't think it was a great... I don't know how I feel about the 25-minute thing. On one hand, I think it's a good idea to announce that it was 25 minutes beforehand, so people don't get their hopes up, and then when it ends after 25 minutes, they're like, wait, where's the rest of it? So I think it's a good idea that they did that. However, and I also think that I like this format where a much shorter video with just quick, concise, rapid-fire trailers and stuff like that, and then having gameplay demos and developer interviews and stuff like that in the Treehouse. I do like that format better, I gotta say. But the only bad thing about it is now, since they said it's only gonna be 25 minutes and it's really short, then every second that they waste is people are gonna think are gonna have the mindset that that's taking away from other announcements. So I think if you do that, if you have that short format, you gotta fill it up completely with no filler. You can't have Reggie talking for a minute about random stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the montage in the beginning because of that reason, that people are going to be we only have 25 minutes, this is just taking time away, even though that's not going to actually change the amount of announcements they have. It just gives you that mindset. So they started off with a new trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've never played Xenoblade Chronicles, but I want to. I intend to play the original Xenoblade Chronicles this summer, so that I'll be ready for this game when it comes out on the holiday this year. I didn't have time to make a predictions video. I really wanted to. There was this whole new series that I wanted to start with me actually in it, and I wrote the whole script and I started filming it, and at the end of that I was going to do my predictions. And then but the camera's not mine, I was borrowing it, but now it died while I was filming, and I didn't have a charger for it, and a whole mess. So unfortunately I wasn't able to get that out in time, or at all, I guess. So but one of the predictions that I did have was that there was a lot of people think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was going to be delayed in the West. I don't know why everyone thinks that. I guess just because it's such a big game, and X was delayed a few times. But I personally never thought that it would be delayed. Since it was announced this year with a release date for this year, I thought that it was probably going to hit that release date. So I said that one of my predictions was that they're going to have another trailer in the E3 Spotlight, and it's going to be reaffirmed at the end that it's coming in 2017. And believe it or not, it did reaffirm at the end. Actually, I don't know if it said it in this trailer or just in the Treehouse, but they definitely said that it is coming holiday 27. Oh, did they? Maybe they didn't. Oh, yeah, they did, right here. Okay. They did. They said it's coming holiday 2017, so that makes me happy. I'm sure that makes the Xenoblade fans really happy. I actually did get Xenoblade Chronicles X like 2 years ago, but it freaking didn't have. I got it for Christmas, but there was no game in the case. It was brand new, wrapped up in plastic. Opened it up, no game in the case. So that was ridiculous, and I never went back to Toys R Us to tell them about it, because it was like some of my cousins got it for me, and they live a little far. I really should do that though, because like what the heck. I hope they I'm just gonna keep arguing with them. I'm gonna do that like sometime this summer. I'm just gonna go there and keep arguing with them until they give me a refund or just give me another copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X. That's ridiculous. My cousin paid $60 for that game to give to me as a gift, and there's no game inside, which is just pretty ridiculous. But the trailer, it was like mostly a story trailer, and it looks pretty darn good for me, to me. But I don't know exactly that much about Xenoblade. What I'm more interested in is the combat, because I'll find this out when I play the original game, but I'm really kind of curious what the combat's like, because I don't really understand how the combat works in Xenoblade. I like the designs of these characters. They got these wacky, ridiculous clothing on. I don't know. I know it doesn't make sense, the clothes that they wear. That's not what they would wear if they're in battle. But for some reason, I've got a soft spot for just ridiculous clothing. It's like that guy's pants and stuff like that. I just think it's kind of cool, and it was just a pretty cool trailer. Not too much I have to say about it though, because I don't really know that much about Xenoblade, but it is really cool. There are these giant things that you can apparently ride on and live on, which is really cool. There was a cool aerial battle too. I wonder if that was a cutscene or not, or if there's actually any gameplay in there. And the character designs are really cool, and I think that hopefully I like Xenoblade Chronicles, the original one, because I just don't know if I'll like the game or not. And if I do, then I'll probably get this game. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about it, just because I never played Xenoblade Chronicles, but I do think it's not a bad thing to start off with. Personally, I would have started off a little bit differently, but I'll say that at the end, I'll talk about the conference as a whole and what I think could have been better and worse. And the next thing they showed, they go right into a brand new trailer for a new Kirby game. And it was kind of funny. They showed it in the beginning. It was it seemed like some epic game. It was sword swinging, fire wielding, stone what is that? Something like that. Stone cold. And then it goes into cuts. It was epic music. And then cuts up. It's Kirby, and it's lighthearted music. The game looks pretty good, looks a lot better than any Kirby games we've seen before, but the graphics, or not the graphics, the assets are still, the assets are assets from, previous Kirby games, and honestly, I really don't like that. I am not a fan of the more recent Kirby games. I've never played Planet Robobot, but Triple Deluxe, I played, half of it. I don't like that game very much. And Return to Dreamland I like, but, I don't love it nearly as much as some older Kirby games. And that's because I really don't like the style of the new, or just really all the Kirby games with the new style. Like I said, I never played Robot, but I just don't like the physics of those games. It's Triple Deluxe. I don't know. Kirby just seems too slow, and I'm guessing Robobot has the same physics, and this game will probably have the same physics too, because those previous two games did really well, and it's using all the same assets. I really don't like when games continue to use the same assets, because I like to feel when I'm playing a new game, I like to feel like it's brand new. I like when games mix up their style and stuff like that. I wish Kirby games, I understand why they don't do this, but I really wish they made a pixel art Kirby again, in the style of Superstar Ultra or something like that. I think that would be really cool, because Superstar Ultra is one of my favorite games, because I really love the physics in that game and how it works. Whereas in, like I said, in Triple Deluxe, I just don't like how Kirby controls that. I just don't like the feel of that game. So hopefully this game feels a little bit different, but I don't think it will, because it looks very similar. But who knows, maybe it'll be more similar to Return to Dreamland, which is a little bit different, and I like controls better in my opinion than Triple Deluxe, although it isn't that different. There's this really cool thing, apparently you can throw these hearts. I don't know where you get them, but you can throw these hearts at enemies, and then they join your side. So that can be used for co-op. So your friends can control any enemy. But also if you don't have friends, then you can just have an AI companion. So I guess that's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of the Amazing Mirror, how there was 4 Kirbys you could control, and it's also, of course, the last home console Kirby game we had, Return to Dreamland, was also had multiplayer. So it makes sense that it's returning. And apparently you can. I didn't notice this when I first watched the trailer, but you can actually combine abilities in this game. But I never played Kirby and the Crystal Shards. Is that what it's called? The one on the N64. It's something. I think that's what it's called. The Kirby game on the N64, I think it's called Kirby and the Crystal Shards, you can actually combine your abilities, which I never played the game, but that was a really cool concept to me when I heard about it. And apparently, and you can do that in this game too. I'm looking at the trailer right now. I didn't notice it when I first watched it. The Kirby has a fire sword at one point. He has water bombs. and he's like an ice stone, and it's very cool. And I really do like that that's returning, and I am excited. That's like the main thing I'm excited about this game for, because that seems like a really cool idea. I hope that the level design is more new and varied than in like Triple Deluxe, and I didn't play Robobot, but so I don't have that much to say about like that. But it looks like it's kind of more the same with Kirby, like the level design wise, which doesn't make me happy. But I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see, because it didn't show that much, really. I'm not a fan of the look of the game, because it's just so similar to past games. Hopefully the physics are a little better than Triple Deluxe. I also really don't like that they didn't give it a name. I really hate when games do that, when they just say, like, Kirby 2018. Like, no, Kirby, that's not, the name of the game's not Kirby. We already have so many Kirby games. Just call them Kirby, I just don't like it. I really like something to grasp onto, and a name, I really like that. I really like grasping onto a name. And if you don't give me a name, I'm going to be I'm not going to be happy about that. And they did this a lot in this press conference, which is pretty annoying to me. If it was a name, I bet I would be a lot more excited about this game if it had a name. I will probably play this game, but whether I get it myself, I don't know. Maybe I'll like play it with Nintendo Nick, since it has co-op, but I'm not sure. I think I'll get it. I don't know. I'm curious if this will be a $60 game, because like say it's like the same size as like Triple Deluxe, but since it's like technically a home console game, would that mean it'll be $60 now, or will it still be $40 since it's like the same budget and it's the same like it's still technically a handheld too? So that's a little interesting to see what happens to those like 3DS-esque games. But this definitely has like better graphics than all the 3DS games and stuff like that. And when they showed Wispy Woods, I was like, oh no, are they really repeating boss fights again? Because Kirby has a bad habit of like repeating boss fights. But then it was actually like a mixed. It was like a it was like, why can't I talk? It was different. It was different this time than it wasn't the regular Wispy Woods boss fight. But I don't know. I'd rather them just have brand new bosses and stuff. There didn't seem. I don't think I noticed any new abilities, which was weird. Normally they always show new abilities in Kirby trailers. Maybe there's one or two that I just missed, but I didn't notice any. But they did show the combining abilities, which is not brand new, but first time in a while. So that's really cool. Anyway, the next thing they announced. Let's see. What do they do next? I'm looking at the press conference right now as I speak. I think the next they were just like talking about how relieved that people liked the Switch and how there were so many different ways to play, which is kind of like they spent a minute on that. Normally, in a normal direct, that's fine, or a normal press conference. But when you're only 25 minutes, and you said that you're 25 minutes, and you like spend time doing that, people are gonna be annoyed. But whatever. Next, they go. What's his name? Is this Masuda? They go to a guy at the Pokemon. Let's see what he said. I forget his name. I think that's Masuda, right? They cut to someone at the no, it's Ishihara. Okay. I don't really know the names of the people who work at Pokemon, because they're not really in the limelight very much, or as opposed to like Nintendo people like Reggie, and like everyone knows him and everyone knows Miyamoto and stuff like that. But anyway, it cuts to Ishihara, who works at the Pokemon Company. Don't really know much about the people who work there, as I said, and it shows like Rowlet, Litleo, and or not Litleo, Litten, Hoplio, Pikachu, and what's the bear guy's name? Beware, that horrible name. And it cuts to him, and he's just talking, and he's like, "We're proud to announce that Pokemon is coming, like a brand new core Pokemon role-playing game is coming to the Nintendo Switch, but it may not come out for more than a year." And he even said, I think, that this was in response to the Direct. I don't know if they actually said this, but I maybe did. But people were annoyed over the internet. Like, many people were annoyed that Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were coming to the 3DS and not the Switch, especially considering Pokemon Stars was something that was rumored. So when this happened, for a split second, I was like, maybe Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is also coming to Switch or something like that, but like that wouldn't really make sense to me. And he just basically announced Generation 8 that it's in development. He technically did not specifically say that it's Generation 8. It could be, like, theoretically, it could be Pokemon Stars, it could be a Diamond and Pearl remake or something like that, but, like, pretty much you should expect it to be Generation 8, because Nintendo has never before had started a console with a remake or a third version. They've always, like, so they're probably going to start Generation 8 on Nintendo Switch. They wouldn't have their first Switch game be just like a port of Sun and Moon, because otherwise they would have done that already. They would have made Pokemon Stars on the Switch, but clearly, instead of Ultra Sun and Moon. But clearly they don't. They want to transfer to go to the new console without a new generation. So Gen 8 coming Switch, but like some people are really really upset about this announcement, because they're like, why would they announce this without showing anything or giving any name? That's really annoying. And some people are happy about it. They're like, hey, Pokemon's coming to the Switch. I'm so excited. I am sort of neutral. this announcement didn't really do anything for me because I already like it's just like confirmed what I already assumed to be the case. Like after they announced Ultra Sun and Moon, I'm like, okay, so they're waiting until Generation 8 to make a game on the Switch, and that'll probably come out late 2018, maybe 2019, I don't know. And then he goes and he's like, yeah, a new Pokemon game is being made. And he also said, but it may not come out for over a year, but we hope you're excited either way, or something like that. Which is a really weird way to phrase it, because he said it may not come out for more than a year. So, like, theoretically it could come out in, like March, but that wouldn't make any sense, because Ultra Sun and Moon are coming out this fall. So it'll clearly, like, not come out till at least late 2018, right? So I don't know why he said it may not come out for more than a year. He should have just said it will. I don't know, because now people might get their hopes up. But really the question for me is whether it will come out in 2018 or not. I think it probably will. I think it'll probably come out in late 2018. But, I mean, I don't know for sure. It could be 2019. Maybe that's what he meant by over a year, like, not in 2018 at all. But, like, a year from now is only halfway through 2018. So it was kind of weird how he said it. But, yeah, as I said, that announcement didn't really mean anything to me because, you know, I already expected that to be the case, and, like, it is. And he didn't even specifically say it's a new generation, so it really means nothing. Because Pokemon already said that like a while ago, that they planned to make games for the Switch. So it was kind of just, like, whatever. And then next, they talk about Pokken. He talked about Pokken for a little bit too. But next, goes back to the guy at Nintendo. I don't know his name. He's talking, and then, boom, it cuts to space. It's just it's just a black screen, and then there's just space. There's stars. There's some blue dust. No one knows what's going on. By the way, I was in school when this presentation was going on. And I was in physics class, so I was just like put my headphones in and watching on my phone during physics class. And my teacher didn't really care because our class is basically over. But like I couldn't like scream. Actually, he started talking to us at one point, but I just kept listening with one earphone. So I couldn't like scream or go crazy or anything like that. But some of these announcements didn't make me like I couldn't really express my emotions. I would just like smile the whole time. But so anyway, there's like a bunch of blue dust. What's going on? It's zooming out, and then it takes a distinct shape of a 4. And then, oh, boom! A big number 4 comes onto the screen. Oh my gosh, this is it! Once the 4 came up, I'm like, no way! No way! It's Metroid Prime 4. Oh my gosh! Oh, and I was like, I was so happy. Not even for myself. I was so happy. And then, boom! Shows the logo Metroid Prime 4. But I was more just happy for other people who've been waiting for this game for so long, because I've never even played a Metroid Prime game. I played a little bit of 3 when I was like young. But I really want to get into the series, so after this was announced, I actually purchased Metroid Prime Trilogy on my Wii U, and I just started Metroid Prime 1 yesterday. I haven't played that much of it yet, but I'm excited to keep playing. But at the time of this Direct, Spotlight, I hadn't played any of the games, but either way, I was just so happy, because I knew people wanted this so much, and now I'm so happy it's coming. And now it gives me a good reason to go back and play the rest of the series, so when this game finally does come out, I'll be able to play it and enjoy it like everybody else. So I'm really happy about this. But they didn't show anything though. It just showed the logo. It said now in development for Nintendo Switch. And what came out after the fact is that it's actually not being made by Retro. Retro Studios is the studio that made all 3 Metroid Prime games. They've also made Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. But they're actually not working on Metroid Prime 4. So when this came up, I was like, oh, right, I guess Retro is working on this, because they didn't like say anything else, and that was just what I assumed. But later, Nintendo said that it's actually being made by a new studio from inside Nintendo, assumably Nintendo Japan, whereas Retro is located in Texas, actually, although they are still part of Nintendo. So that's exciting, I think, that it's a new studio, because Retro has already made 3 of those games, so I think it's cool to have a new studio try, and that means Retro is working on something else. And I'm going to get this out of the way right now. Like I said, I was going to make a predictions video, but I didn't get the chance to. I think this was going to be one of my predictions. I think that Retro is working on a new IP, a brand new IP, and that it has something to do with barbecue. And I said that Retro's new game was going to be shown, but so when Metroid Prime 4 came up, I was like, oh, I guess my prediction's wrong. They are working on Prime 4, but they're actually not. So my prediction could sort of still be true, but their game was not shown, unfortunately. But I do now believe even more that they got to be working on a new IP, right? Because it's been almost 3.5 years since Tropical Freeze, their last game, was released, and we still haven't even seen what they're making. So I feel like if it was a Donkey Kong game, we would have at least heard of it by now, because I don't think those would take more than 3.5 years from when they started working on it to be announced, and they probably started working on whatever their next game was before Tropical Freeze anyway. So I believe and there was also already a rumor from, I think, Laura Kate Dale that Retro was working on a new IP, so I definitely believe that now that we found out they're not making Prime 4. Someone else is, so I'm really excited for Retro's new IP. Like I said, getting the prediction out there right now. It has something to do with barbecue. We'll see if that comes true or not. Tweet at me when we find out, and I'll make a video bragging about it if it actually comes true. But that was a really cool announcement. I would have liked to see gameplay. Obviously, we all would have, but it seems to be very, very far away. Nintendo even said, like, they had a press release like afterwards, like a day or two later. Yeah, it's pretty far along, but they wanted to announce it early because they wanted us to know that they haven't forgotten about it, that they are working on it, because they know people want it so badly. Next up, they cut right out of this into a trailer for a new Yoshi game, which this was like the most surprising thing, honestly, in the whole press. I don't know about that, but it was like the most thing that was like completely unexpected. Like Prime 4, like obviously that was like so surprising, but like that made sense. Like I could expect that. And the only thing that rivals it, I guess, would be like what happened in the Mario Odyssey trailer, but I'll get to that later. But the Yoshi, oh my gosh, this was so weird. It was like, first it comes up and it's like a bunch of paper and it looks like Super Paper Mario. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And then it flips around and there's a Yoshi egg, so you know it's Yoshi. And you see Yarn Yoshi, but it's not, the environments aren't made of yarn, they're all made of cardboard. And there's this weird like 3D thing where you can like go into the background, like there's the path, there's like a path you walk along, and you can like walk up and down sometimes if the path goes that way. So it's like sort of 3D a little bit, but not really. And then there's also enemies that are like on other planes, and you can somehow throw eggs at them in 3D, which is pretty weird to me. And it says like knockout. I don't think I'll, honestly, I'm pretty confused about this game. Like I don't know if I'll like it that much. The art style is pretty cool. Instead of doing a wool aspect, they're doing like a bunch of like cardboard and paper. It kind of reminds me of the original Yarn Yoshi. So Woolly World was like re-announced in 2015, but before that, we actually heard a little bit about this game called the Yarn Yoshi in 2013, and it just showed like a tiny bit of that game, but it looked a lot different in Woolly World. But back in 2013, it was like the same Yoshi pretty much, and some of the environments were yarn, but a lot of it was more realistic. Like there was like, he was like running through like a realistic looking living room that was like really big, and like maybe like a kitchen or something like that too. So this is like, I guess, kind of more similar to that, where it's not made of yarn. The environments aren't all made of yarn, just like Yoshi and the characters are, but it's mostly made of like cardboard and like materials like that, which is interesting. The art style I like, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the cardboard. The cardboard kind of looks like kind of plain and like kind of boring in some aspects, in some parts. But then later in the trailer they get to more complex parts, and it looks cooler. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I like this game. I haven't played Woolly World yet, though I do have it, so that's the game I'm gonna want to play before this comes out. And then there's a weird thing where you can like do a ground pound or something on certain switches. I'm not sure if you can do it anytime or just on these like switches, and then it like flips the environments around completely, and then you can like walk in behind the environments. But that just kind of looks like to me it just looks a little bit like a dumb gimmick. It doesn't really look like that fun of a thing. It's kind of something I feel like would be annoying. I'd be like going through levels like, all right, now I got a ground pound to see what's on the other side, and I just don't think that'll add that much. That'll be that fun. Also, throwing eggs at like Shy Guys that are in the 3D just doesn't seem that like interesting. Just seems kind of boring. Like, all right, let's choose to throw it this way, and it just, I don't know. It just seems kind of lame because like couldn't you just walk by them anyway? So like, what's the point of just like sitting there? I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I'm not nearly as excited about this as I was for Woolly World. Though to be fair, I haven't played Woolly World yet, though I do want to soon. Whereas Woolly World, I'm really excited to play that. This game, I don't know how I feel about it. There was some cool stuff shown. There was like this like purple dragon thing, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. I'm a little wary about this game, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, next goes to Koei Tecmo Games, and it showed a story trailer, which was really unexpected. That's not what I would expect from this game. It was a story trailer for Fire Emblem Warriors. But I actually, when we first saw this, I thought it was the brand new Fire Emblem game for the Switch, because it was a story trailer, and I mean, since the Warriors series is mostly like focused on gameplay and not as much on story, I expected to see gameplay first. But we did see a story trailer, and it was kind of interesting. Like, I don't know, it didn't seem like it's like that crazy. Like, it's just like, oh, there's the evil thing and the two siblings, blah blah blah. But then when it said like joined by heroes from other worlds, I'm like, oh, it's Warriors, because Warriors is a cast of characters from all different Fire Emblem games. Though it seems to be focusing on like Awakening and Fates, I heard. Although I don't know that much about Fire Emblem, so I don't really know what characters are from other games. But there's a bunch of characters I recognize, which means, yeah, it's focusing on Fates and Awakenings. Those are the characters I recognize the most. But it seems cool. I haven't played it that much. I love Hyrule Warriors. I don't think I'll get as much out of this game because I won't know all of the characters, but I still think I'll like it a lot. Yeah, the story seems okay. Like, it seems fine. It seems better than the Hyrule Warriors story. I really didn't like that much because I don't know. It was just like weird. It was like, and they called it not canon, which I hate. Like, there's characters from all these other games, so how can that not be in the same universe? It's really, I didn't like the Hyrule Warriors story. This is probably gonna have some of the same issues, but I don't know. At least there's like some new stuff too, as opposed to Hyrule Warriors, which is like, yep, it's still canon. I don't know. It still could probably be kind of weird, but they didn't show much gameplay here, but then they did show gameplay in the Treehouse. I haven't watched that much of the Treehouse live streams because I don't want to watch that much gameplay of all these games because I want to wait till, I get my hands on the game for myself. But from what I saw of the gameplay, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty similar to Hyrule Warriors, so if you like that, you'll probably like this. And I did like that a lot, so I'll probably like this a lot too. I don't know, maybe there were some differences I didn't really notice because I didn't watch that much of it, but I am excited for that game. And they did reaffirm a fall 2017 release date, so excited for that. Excited for Xenoblade this year. A lot of games we got this year. And then, what do they do next? Okay, this was weird. Then Eiji Aonuma comes up, he starts talking about Zelda, and they start talking about DLC. DLC Pack 1, they show like a trailer for it. So, if you don't know, there's $20 Season Pass. It comes with some stuff that already came out, which was just like some dumb stuff, like a couple items and like a Nintendo Switch shirt, which is really dumb, that Link can wear. And then it comes with Pack 1, which is coming out this summer. And they showed a trailer for that. We sort of already knew what it was like, but they clarified more. So here's what's coming in that pack. It's a like Path of the Hero mode, which is basically, it's not really a mode, it's just you can like look on the bottom screen and you can see everywhere where Link has walked in like the last 200 hours, which I think is a really cool feature for so you can like see where on the map like you haven't been yet, so you don't need to worry while you play about looking at every single inch. But unfortunately they waited some time to announce that, so I still did spend some time like exploring every single inch of land. And but I don't think that's like really, that should be like a free update thing, not a DLC thing, in my opinion. However, since I'm gonna get the DLC anyway, I already know for the story thing, then like that's fine. I don't really care that that's DLC, but I can see why people would be upset about that. Then they showed the like something. It's like not the Cave of It's like the something. It's like the Trial of Swords, or like the Sword Trial, or something like that. Basically, we all expected it to be sort of like or not everyone, but a lot of people did the Cave of Trials, or whatever it's called, in Twilight Princess HD. Or also the whatever, they had a similar thing in Link Between Worlds, which basically there's just like a bunch of floors, because they already announced there's gonna be 100 like floors of enemies or something like that. I think they did, and it was just like a room, a bunch of enemies killed, enemies go to the next room. But this was actually a lot more interesting. It seemed like a lot more open and like Breath of the Wild is, and it was also like Evertide Island, like that challenge where, because in the way. You start this challenge and you have nothing. You're just in your underwear and you have no weapons, no items, no anything. But I think you do have all your hearts. So it's gonna be really fun, I think, to build up your arsenal again while you're going through this challenge. So I'm pretty excited for that. Though I'm not that excited because I haven't even beaten Zelda yet. Because I played my Switch log. If you go to my profile, it says 85 hours or more of Zelda, and I have only beaten 2 dungeons. And I've only beaten like 30 something, maybe like 40 shrines. It's ridiculous. I'm spending so much time in that game, so I've taken a break from it. Haven't played it for like a month and a half, and I'm gonna wait a lot longer, I think, to get back. Maybe like late summer, I'll get back into that game. But it's just I played so much of it, so I got a little burned out. So I want to wait to play more. But I still do love that game very much. So I am excited for some more stuff that I'll get to eventually. But I'm not gonna get to it right when it comes out. Anyway, then they showed a trailer for Pack 2, which is what was the story content that was promised, which is coming out holiday 2017. By the way, I think they may have announced even a release date for Pack 1. Did they? Let's see. No, I don't think they did. I don't even think they announced a release date for it. Maybe they did later on, and I just don't realize. But then they showed a trailer for Pack 2, which was like the story content. It was a very bad trailer. It just showed all the different, you know how there's 4 champions in that game? It showed the 4 champions like in like cutscenes. I think those are cutscenes we've seen before, like in the game. Even if they're not, like we didn't really get anything new from them. It showed the 4 champions, and then it showed Zelda. And then it cuts to an image of all 4 champions in Zelda, and it's like DLC Pack 2, and it's called like Champions Ballad. And in the beginning of that, it said like, let me tell you the tale of this. So I'm thinking maybe it happened, like maybe this DLC takes place back 100 years ago before Link fell asleep, or maybe it even takes place like in between when Link fell asleep, like while Link was asleep. But that wouldn't really make sense because that whole time Zelda was stuck in Hyrule Castle, so Zelda wouldn't be out and about. Though, by the way, I haven't even beaten the game, so I don't exactly know what happens in the story, but I heard it wasn't that complicated, so what happens at the end, so I don't know. but maybe there's some crazy plot mix up. I don't know, but either way, they showed like nothing of what it's like though. So I don't really know what to expect. I think it was a bad trailer because they didn't really explain what the DLC pack is. They didn't really show anything about it, just that it has something to do with the champions and Zelda. I'm guessing that maybe you play as them, or maybe like you play as the other characters instead of Link. But I don't know if that's true. I'm just like basing off that because Link wasn't in the trailer, I don't think at all. Maybe like a tiny bit, but you definitely didn't see any gameplay or anything like that. I'm kind of disappointed because I was hoping that it would take place after the game, like not a sequel, but like something that takes place after the game, after you beat the game. But it seems to be a prequel to the game. But I can't really tell, of course, but that's what it seems to be. And I'm worried that you're just going to be exploring the same world, or some part of the same world, but like with like a slight change, like a new dungeon and like maybe a new character. Or who knows, maybe it'll even be like you can explore the entirety of Hyrule and it's all different because it was all 100 years ago, which I don't think I really want that either, because it'd be kind of tedious to go through the entirety of Hyrule again, even if it's different from like 100 years ago. Like that would take so long, and a lot of it would still probably be pretty similar. But I don't know, they could also do some cool stuff with that, like seeing what changed. But what I wanted optimally is like something happens after you beat the game, and maybe that wall that's on the left edge of the map like crumples, and then you can now go up a ramp and see what's over there. And like I wanted the world to expand, because I really like when you can go to like new parts of areas of the world, or like I wanted maybe like some giant like boat to appear on the right, and then it's like, hey, I'm gonna take you out over here to this whatever's on the east of Hyrule, and then because there's something going on over there. I wanted it to be a new area that we have that we couldn't explore before. I wanted a new area to appear because I really like going outside of the world and seeing what's outside. Like I always like in Pokemon Diamond, like I would always imagine like what's outside of this map, like what's over there. I'm really interested in exploring what's outside of the map. So I think that's a really good like potential thing for DLC to do. Unfortunately, I don't think this DLC is going to do that. Who knows? We do know a new dungeon is going to be there. And it being this DLC, I don't exactly know where that's going to be or what it's going to be, but I wish they showed more about this and explained like what it was, but I guess they'll have to do that at a later time. Anyway, the next thing they showed is some Zelda Amiibo. It was some Amiibo of all the 4 champions, which I mean, kind of cool if you think I want to get those. But they didn't explain what they showed. So many new Amiibo. They showed some in this. They also showed a lot in the treehouse afterwards. But they didn't explain what like any of it does, which is kind of a weird thing. So I'm not really excited for any of it because I don't know what any of it does, and like I'm at the point where I can't just keep spending money on Amiibo. I got like 13 or something Amiibo, maybe even a little more, but I'm running out of money right now, so I gotta save my money for the games that I want. So I don't really think I'm gonna buy that many more Amiibo in the future. Maybe I'll get some like for Christmas or something. But like I wish I knew what they did, so they'd give me more of an incentive to buy them. But they're still cool figurines nonetheless. Next up was like he talked about just like their tournaments. Like this is kind of weird. Reggie then spent like 2 minutes talking about the Splatoon 2 and ARMS tournaments they're having later in Pokken. But I mean, like I said, same thing as earlier. If you have only 25 minutes and you announced that in the past, people are going to be thinking that everything you don't spend on a cool new announcement is wasting time. So I feel like they could have spent less time doing that. But I don't know. And then they cut to a quick little trailer for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is a game that has been we've known about it for a long time because it was leaked. But I'm pretty excited for this game. Actually, I'll talk about what they showed in Ubisoft's press conference first, because in Ubisoft's press conference, either like a day or 2 days ago, 2 days before Nintendo's, they showed a lot of this game. They announced it for the first time officially. They showed a lot of gameplay, and it's like a tactical turn-based RPG, like based on like the environment is really important and like where you are. I haven't played that many games like that, but it looks cool. I have some things that I'm really like, whoa, this is really cool about it, and things that I'm a little worried. Because the fights look pretty interesting. I've never really done that much stuff like that before, so I'm really intrigued by it, and I think it definitely could be really fun, although I'm not sure, because like I said, I've never played an RPG with that kind of combat system. But the worlds, actually exploring them, I don't know if that seems really good. The worlds didn't really seem very open. They seemed more like linear, just like follow this path and go here, and they didn't really seem like lived-in worlds. They seemed more like levels to me, which is not that good in an RPG. But I don't know. Like I can't really tell from what they showed that easily. And also, for some reason, you could, instead of just controlling like one of the characters and having everyone else follow you, you control this little like Roomba robot thing that just like goes and everyone else jogs in the line behind you, which I think is really stupid. I don't get why you can't just control the characters. I don't want to control a little Roomba and have the characters jog. I want to control the characters. So I think that's really dumb. And also the speed, like running in the overworld, is pretty slow because you're that little vacuum guy. I don't really understand why that is. I think that's really stupid. I don't get why that's the case. Maybe I'll play the game and I'll change my mind because I'll have some reason for that. But as of now, I'm not thrilled about that. In the Ubisoft trailer, they also showed some cool characters too. So I'm excited that I hope this game will have a lot of cool characters like the original Paper Mario, instead of just being like a bunch of boring characters like some of the more recent Paper Marios. Like they showed some cool stuff. They showed like this giant flower guy that was probably a boss, or maybe a friend, an ally. I don't know. So hopefully there's like a lot of cool variety in characters in this game, and a variety in what you do and where you are. Like in Paper Mario, I don't really know if there'll be that or not. I'm not looking at the trailer right now. I'm trying to just think it from the top of my head because I have the Nintendo press conference opened up, or Spotlight, not the Ubisoft one. But they showed some stuff like that of like variety in characters and stuff like that I am excited for. But there's some stuff I'm still wary for. Like they even said in their like the little thing that got leaked, it was like there'll be 15 core types of enemies. I feel like that's not that much, so that worries me. Especially considering, according to them, it's 65% combat and 35% exploration. But maybe that's just like types of enemies, but under those types there'll be different subcategories. I don't know, but the enemies we saw were kind of cool. They were mostly just rabbits though, and there was also this like Donkey Kong rabbit we saw that was really cool. And the characters in this game, like the main characters, unfortunately it's just Mario, Peach, Luigi, Yoshi, and then Rabbids versions of the same ones. So I feel like they could have had a little more variety there, or a little more things that we didn't expect. But the characters themselves, like they have a lot of character and they were pretty funny. A lot of the stuff they showed was pretty cool. I like how the Rabbids interact with the real versions of the characters, at least from what they've shown. So I can see myself loving this game. I can see myself disliking it a lot. So I really don't know. I'll have to just wait until I play it, to be honest. But then they showed the Nintendo trailer, and since they already showed a lot in Ubisoft, they didn't show any gameplay in Nintendo. Though I think they did show some gameplay in the Treehouse. But they showed like more of a story trailer, I think, or just like kind of they just showed like a few, it was sort of a trailer, but it was really only like a little bit of stuff. So they didn't really show that much of the Nintendo. But they also showed this, like, I don't know. So some of this stuff in this game looks really cool. Some of it looks, I don't know. I really don't know whether I'm going to love this game or not. I really hope I love it. There's definitely a good chance that I will. But, so yeah, I don't know. I'm really mixed about Mario Rabbids RPG. I hope I love it, but I can definitely see it going either way. Next up was really weird. They showed a trailer for Rocket League, and they showed the trailer as if, like, we were supposed to be like, wait, what's this? Oh, wow, it's Rocket League, oh my gosh, which would have been cool. That would have been a cool announcement. But in the opening montage, in the beginning of the spotlight, they showed Rocket League in that montage. So that was really dumb. I don't get why they did that. I don't get why they didn't wait until, like, this would have been a good reveal, but instead they already showed it in the montage, so I think that was very poorly executed. Rocket League, I mean, at first I was like, I don't care about this announcement because I already have Rocket League because I have other consoles. But I understand why this is kind of a big deal, because for people who only have Nintendo consoles, like for me, this means nothing. But for people who only play on Nintendo consoles, which is an audience that Nintendo does need to, like, that is a very important audience. That was me for a long time. That's an audience Nintendo needs to address. So this is a coming holiday 2017, and it's a very great game. It's a great game, so you should get it if you haven't played it already and you only have Nintendo consoles and you have no other way to play it. And it's having all the same features as other console versions. It's not getting like a chops down version, so that's good. And yeah, it's a really good game. So it's a good thing to bulk up Nintendo's lineup for late in the year in case you are someone who only owns Nintendo. Someone who only owns Nintendo consoles. It's another game to play. That's a very fun game, so you should get it. But like, it's not really like that big news. I don't know. And they spent a little too much time talking about it, I think, too. They have a couple exclusive cars, but they didn't show what. And there's also going to be like a Mario hat and a Luigi hat. Like, okay, big whoop, not a big deal. It's the same game pretty much as on other consoles. Really good game though, so definitely you should get it if you have a Switch and are interested. And then next, this is the last thing they showed. It opens up. This was the craziest thing in the whole press conference. It opens up. It's like a bunch of grass, some water, a sky, some like cliffs. A super realistic. This is like a very realistic looking game right here. And then look at this. A giant dinosaur walks out, and I'm thinking that, okay, I'm thinking right now that it's Monster Hunter World, because it's because they showed Monster Hunter World in the PlayStation conference, I think, the Sony conference. And it's a brand new Monster Hunter game that they announced, and it had dinosaurs in it, and it looked very realistic, so I was like, oh, maybe they'll announce it for Switch also. But I didn't really know what this was, because I thought that was exclusive to PlayStation 4. But I'm like, I have no idea what this is. Maybe it's a new IP I think it's Monster Hunter though, and then the T-Rex roars, all the birds fly up, and you look on the T-Rex head, and there's a Mario hat, and then Mario jumps off of the T-Rex, at least that's what you think, and then they show, then cue an awesome trailer about Super Mario Odyssey. What the heck? There's like a giant realistic dinosaur area in Super Mario Odyssey? That's freaking awesome. Then it cuts to this giant tower where everyone's having a party at night, and that looks like an awesome part of the game. Then you see Mario riding a scooter through New York City. That looks awesome. Then he's running through the snow world, which looks pretty cool. And then you see running with a sombrero, running through the desert land. And then he's running through the Dinosaur Land again. He's doing an awesome jump in it right on the beat. And look at that super awesome Dinosaur Land. That looks so cool. This looks so cool. It looks so realistic for a Mario game too. It's not like cartoony. They're realistic looking dinosaurs. It's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought? What if this is Dinosaur Land, like from Super Mario World, where the Yoshis are from? What if this is it? This is Dinosaur Land in 2017. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool if this is like the same Dinosaur Land. That would be really awesome. And I think there's actually a good chance of that being the case, because they're bringing back a lot of stuff from older games. Like Pauline's in this, and like there's just New Donk City, so like Donkey Kong was mentioned. And oh my gosh, so they're like really making, I think they're having an effort to make Mario more like a cohesive world, which I really like. So it's not just like the Mushroom Kingdom, it seems like there's all these different areas. So like there's this Dinosaur Land, which is just really cool. Because even, like as I watched some of the gameplay from the treehouse, there's those regular coins, but there's also these exclusive there's these coins that are exclusive to each area, and you can use those to buy stuff, but they only work in that area. So I think that's because they're different kingdoms. Like I think they said the Desert Kingdom is like, I forget what it's called, but it's literally a different kingdom. It's not part of the Mushroom Kingdom, so not all the same currency works there, which makes sense. I mean, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense why all the gold coins work everywhere, but either way. So I think it's cool that they're really like building up the world Mario lives in, making it more of a realistic, like lived-in world with different kingdoms and stuff. That's so cool. So I really hope that is the same Dinosaur Land from Super Mario World. And then they show another thing with Bowser, like kidnapping Peach. And then apparently Mario's hat has like a little ghost that like possesses his hat, which is pretty cool. And then you see, oh my gosh, he has this sweet hat attack. Not only can he throw his hat, he can also like spin it around him, like it was in orbit. And then he's got his USA outfit from Smash Brothers, which is freaking awesome. And as you go on, there's all these different outfits, and apparently you can actually buy different outfits in the stores, and they have different effects, some of them, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if the outfits themselves have different effects. I know, I think they do. I think they do have different effects. Cause never mind, they do. I don't know what I'm saying. The hats, I don't know if the hats have different effects, but I know the outfits do. Or maybe the hats just go along with the outfits, or I don't know if they're the same or not. And then, oh my gosh, this looks so cool. And then it shows this little 2D thing where you can like stick to the walls, like link between worlds and do some little 2D parts of levels, which looks freaking awesome. And then it shows them running around New Donk City again, and the music right this whole time is freaking awesome. Such a good jolly song that gets you in the mood for this. And then biggest turning point in the trailer, he throws his hat, it hits a frog, it lands on the frog, and he possesses the frog. What? So you think, oh wow, he can just throw his hat at a frog and control the frog? That's a really cool part of the game, and it shows him like swimming through water in some cutscene or something, which makes it seem like this game is a lot more story focused than past games. And this game also shows Mario like has a lot of character, which he doesn't really have that much character in a lot of his previous platformers, like Super Mario 3D World. He has no character, but it actually shows him like express emotions throughout this whole trailer, and like it looks like there'll be cutscenes where he like expresses a lot of emotions, really cool. And then it goes back to the frog. It's got a mustache on it, and Mario is clearly possessing the frog. So now you can like control the frog. That's really awesome. And then he throws his hat at a Goomba, and you see him possess the Goomba. So apparently you could throw your hat at like any enemy and control it. And apparently it came out afterwards. You can actually, it's not any enemy. It's anything that's not wearing a hat. So if something's wearing a hat, you can't throw your hat at it and control it because it already has a hat on. So you can't throw your hat on it. So that's cool. That's a good way. I think that's a really cool way to make it to show which enemies you can and can't control. And it's also like it makes sense game-wise. It makes sense canon-wise. It makes sense lore-wise, which I really like. So I think that's a really cool reason. Then he starts controlling Goomba. Then he starts controlling a Hammer Bro, but the Hammer Bro's actually in the food universe, so he's like throwing cooking pans. And then he throws it at a Bullet Bill, and you can control the Bullet Bill and fly around while another Bullet Bill's chasing you. That's so awesome. And then he's controlling a rocket, and he's shooting off in the sky. Then he's controlling a fireball in the fire cannon, and he just shoots through a cannon. Then he throws at this little robot thing that looks like the robot from Star Fox, and it flies through the sky. Then he's controlling this electricity and going down the electricity wires like in Splatoon. Then he's swimming as a little Cheep. Oh my gosh, everything that goes, it's so awesome. The possibilities of this game, you can control all these different enemies. That's so cool. Then he like gets up from like some cutscene, he's like got this shocked emotion on his face. By the way, sorry if all the gameplay doesn't quite match up with what you're seeing. I think I'm just going to loop the trailer because I don't have that much time to edit this because my family's coming over pretty soon. So I have to quickly edit this, so I won't have that much time to make everything match up. And then he's like playing guitar in this like Mexican place with a sombrero on. And then it shows him like running to Bowser, and it shows Peach has like a bouquet of flowers, but they're like little piranha plants, which is so cute, so awesome. And he's like shows a cool boss fight with this girl with like this cool hair. This shows another cool boss fight. This like giant mummy guy. Oh my gosh, this game looks so good. This game looks so good. And it shows all these different outfits. It shows a football outfit. It shows a scuba diver outfit. And then it shows him he's a giant. He's controlling one of the Goombas, but he's on top of like 3 other Goombas. Oh my gosh, this game. And he jumps on another Goomba. Then he's controlling a chain chomp. Then he's controlling a freaking taxi car. And then he's controlling this giant Easter Island head guy. It's just, oh my gosh, everything it shows is so good. It just keeps escalating and escalating, getting even crazier, and he's just controlling all these things. Then he literally controls this one of these cones from the street that he can like fling himself off of, and then he throws his hat at one of those humans, one of those weird humans that's a lot taller than him, and he controls the human. And he's, oh my gosh. By the way, look how, and the human's holding like a drone, like a remote control, helicopter control or something like that. So I think it's an RC car actually. So I don't think you actually get to play as the human. I think you just get to play as the RC car. That'd be cool if you could actually walk around as the human. But and then by the way, Mario's so short in this game. He's like less than half of the height of the humans. Like you see him next to Pauline, and he's like not even up to her waist. It's very funny. And then you can throw a hat in a tank, and he starts controlling the tank and shooting those crazy bug guys that we saw earlier. And then, flashback to the beginning of the trailer, he throws his hat at the T-Rex, and you can actually control the T-Rex. That's so awesome. This is a Mario game where you can run around as a T-Rex. What? That is insanely cool. This game's gonna be so good. Such a good trailer. What a way to end it. I still think it's the best way to end it because I'm a huge proponent of ending with a brand new game. But this is out of everything they showed in the trailer, this is the best way to end it though. Because even though I do think that ultimately you should try to end with a brand new announcement, Kirby and Yoshi were not as exciting as this freaking phenomenal trailer. And Metroid Prime 4, while it was a brand new game, they didn't show any gameplay, so I don't think it's a great thing to end with. But just look at this. And then it shows back to the city, and it shows Pauline dancing. They're having like a concert, and that's like, what? Is that Pauline? Pauline's in this game from the Donkey Kong, from Mario vs. Donkey Kong, from the original Donkey Kong game. That's so cool. And then, boom, October 27th, 2017. What? October? We all thought this was going to be like November or something. We're getting this even earlier than we expected. This game's going to be so good, and we're going to be playing it in October. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this game. It's going to be so amazing. And that was the end of the trailer. But then they showed a lot of gameplay in the treehouse. I watched some of it. I didn't watch like all of it because I don't want to find out everything about the game. But what was I gonna say? Then they showed Pauline's actually like the mayor of New Donk City. So now I'm like, so I love so much that they're like actually making Mario like more of a world, like a connected world, which is so cool. The only thing I don't like about it is how does now we got to work out the timeline. So. This was the Mario timeline originally. Well, actually, first I'll say, like, wait, so why is it called New Donk City if Pauline's the mayor? Because I would think she doesn't like Donkey Kong, because Donkey Kong always kidnaps her. But anyway, so this was the timeline of Mario originally. So there's a Mario that lives in Brooklyn, and he is a plumber from Brooklyn. Ow. But I don't know if that's canon because I think it wasn't said in the games. It was just said in the handbooks. But then that's the Mario that's in Donkey Kong. And then he's like fighting Donkey Kong to save Pauline. But then we see a new Donkey Kong, and apparently, Cranky Kong. Cranky Kong was the original Donkey Kong from that game. So how does it make sense for Donkey Kong to turn all the way into Cranky Kong and get that old, yet Mario's the same age? That's why my theory was that the Mario from Brooklyn was like the main Mario's like dad or grandfather or something, and that was the Mario that fought Cranky Kong. But this new Mario, and that Mario couldn't jump that high. Like, in Donkey Kong, he doesn't jump that high. But then, so my theory was this new Mario that we know from all of these new games was like that old Mario moved to Mushroom Kingdom and like had sex with some crazy Mushroom Kingdom lady and resulted in this Mario. So I don't know like what plus what like old Mario like human plus what equals this. Maybe a toad or something, I don't know. But maybe that resulted in this short human that jumps super high and has these crazy superpowers. And that's the Mario that we know and love that lives in the Mushroom Kingdom. And maybe then Donkey Kong has also moved to New York to Mushroom Kingdom for some reason, and maybe, or not Mushroom Kingdom, but the same world. Because I don't think they technically live in Mushroom Kingdom or not. They probably live in like some Donkey Kong world that's a little bit close to that. Maybe something happened to Earth. I don't know what happened. Maybe you think I'm going too in depth, but I don't know. I like talking about this stuff. I like it. But then, and then, oh my gosh. So that's why this, like, the old Mario was with Pauline, who's like, and then I assumed that in all the new games, Pauline was actually like old, and now there's this new Mario and fighting Bowser and with Peach, and I guess Mario became friends with the grandson of the old Donkey Kong, the new Donkey Kong. So maybe Mario and Cranky Kong still are on bad terms. That's why Cranky Kong and Mario are never together, even though Donkey Kong and Mario are together all the time, and Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong are together all the time. But maybe Cranky Kong still has something against Mario for what his grandfather did, or maybe Cranky Kong doesn't care about new Mario. He's only mad at what the original Mario did, or maybe that feud was settled. But Mario and Donkey Kong are like friends now, so that's good. But the only thing that doesn't make sense about that is the Mario versus Donkey Kong games has Pauline being captured by Donkey Kong, and that's the Mario has to go save her. But the thing is, these are new graphics, so you can tell that the Donkey Kong and the Mario look like pretty much exactly the same as today's Donkey Kong and Mario. So I don't know if we could say that those were still the old versions of them, or if it's just like new and like so I would always just assume those are the old versions of them. They just look similar because they're related. Because otherwise, why would Pauline be the same age, and why would Mario just be with Pauline in these games, and like whereas Pauline normally is? But now this is very clearly a new Mario. Like he jumps super high, right? But because Peach is there too, so it's got to be like the same time as most of our Mario games. But then Pauline is there, and she's Mayor. So that doesn't make sense, because shouldn't Pauline be really old now? So that's just making me all confused. I really hope I doubt that this game is going to address that, because the Mario timeline is very screwed up, because they don't really pay attention to it. But I like it. I like paying attention to stuff like that. So, I don't think they're going to explain that, so I'm just going to have to be like, make the excuse that, oh, that's her granddaughter or something. That's new Pauline. But like what else am I going to say? Like, because otherwise that just doesn't make sense. Or maybe Cranky Kong wasn't the original Donkey Kong, and they're all just the same age. But I like it better thinking that Cranky was the original Donkey Kong, because that makes sense that the original Mario couldn't jump that high. But this Mario can jump super high, so then it has to be the new Mario, right? So how is it Pauline the same age? So for now, I'm just going to assume that, okay, that's Pauline's granddaughter or something, who's also named Pauline and looks exactly the same, which is obviously a stretch. But because I don't think they're going to address like the whole timeline as a whole. But either way, I think it's really cool that they're really making Mario like a lived-in universe that makes like sense and like has all these different locations, not just these random worlds with random levels. Actually, like cool lived-in locations. Because each world in this game is actually called like a kingdom. I think like it was called like the Desert Kingdom, like the Food Kingdom or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but they're all called kingdoms. But then New Donk City is like within the Mushroom Kingdom, so I don't know if this is just the only part of Mushroom Kingdom in this game, or if there's going to be another part of Mushroom Kingdom that you can play as too. I don't know, but either way, I'm so excited for this game. It's going to be so good. My game of the year right now is Rivals of Aether. Out of all the games I played this year, second place is Zelda right now. But I mean, there's still a long time to go. That could change. I could beat Zelda and change my mind, make it first. I don't know. There's still a lot more games to go this year, and a lot of games from earlier in the year I haven't played yet. But Mario, man, is going to run for that spot, and oh my gosh, this game just looks so amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to play it. But anyway, that was the entire press conference. Oh, wait, no, there's more stuff, not in the press conference, but later in the Treehouse, they had a few more announcements, because they focused the press conference on the Switch, which I think was a very good idea, because, they want people to know that, hey, they're focused on the brand new console now. So they had a couple 3DS announcements in the Treehouse stream. How am I doing on time? I'm spending so much time. Oh my gosh, it's almost an hour. I have to hurry up. So I might not be able to get this up till late tonight, so I don't think I'm going to be able to edit it now because I have family coming over in an hour and 15 minutes. I have to shower and get ready. But anyway, they announced the three 3DS games. The first thing they announced, like right after the press conference, which I think is a good idea to do it soon. Hey, look at this! Metroid Samus Returns, a brand new Metroid game. So, in this case, it's not, I don't know why I said that. It's not a brand new game. It's a remake of Metroid 2, Return of Samus. That's so cool that they're going back and remaking that game. It's a little weird for a couple reasons, but because there was a Metroid 2 remake called Another Metroid 2 Remake, which was a fan remake, and Nintendo shut it down. So now it makes sense why they shut it down, because they were already making this game. But, what if AM2R is actually that? Like, Nintendo better make this a damn good game, because now it's going to be compared to AM2R, the fan game made Metroid remake. So, it's going to be compared a lot. So hopefully hopefully for Nintendo's sake, they make this really good, so that people think that this is better. But I don't know. I I have played a little bit of Metroid 2, but then I got stuck. So I'm probably gonna go back to it before this game comes out. But the game looks a lot different. Like it has like these cool like melee attacks, and some of the enemies they showed looked so different. But that might just be because of the much updated graphics. Though to be honest, I don't like the graphical look of this game. It's on the 3DS. I really wish they went with like a pixel art look because I don't like this like weird like polygonal 3D environments look that some 3DS games have. Like Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric, I think has. Do they? No, I don't think. I don't remember if they do. I've only played the demo. Not Rise of Lyric. Crystal something. I've only played the demo of that game, so I don't know if it actually does. I don't remember. But like Federation Force has this type of style. What are other games? There's other games that have like this like weird like they tried to make it as realistic as possible in the 3DS, but you just can't do that. So I don't really like the style of the game. I really wish they went for a pixel art look. They could have made it amazing, beautiful pixel art. Instead, they made it this kind of like gross 3D models that I don't like that much. But whatever, because like the environment's all just like brown and not that complex. So I don't really like that. But other than that, I'm really excited for this game. I really think what I want to do is play Metroid 2, the original, play this game, and play AM2R, and like compare them all and see which is the best and which I like the best. And I think it's coming out this year, right? And the original Metroid 2 is a very short game, so I think that's definitely like a feasible thing to do. Although I wonder if they're adding more to this game because it seemed like they showed a ton in the treehouse, but like with how short that game is, like I feel like they must have showed like so much of the game. So I don't know, maybe they're even adding some stuff. I don't know. I didn't listen to the treehouse, but I was watching someone's reactions and it showed the treehouse stream in it. So anyway, then the next thing they showed is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Bowser's Minions. So we actually heard about this game. It was leaked because it was in the like coding of like the 3DS eShop or something like that. So we already knew about this game. It was already confirmed pretty much. But it's a remake of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. So I was like kind of excited for this game, but kind of worried because I've not played much of Superstar Saga. I like borrowed it from a friend, but I played like a little bit of it. But I haven't played a lot of it. But I did really like what I played. So I really, 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 really want to play this game. But the thing is, actually, I don't know. Okay, I don't know why I said really so much. I kind of just lost my train of thought, so I kept saying really. I'm not that excited, but. So basically, I was excited for this game because I want a chance to play it, but I was also worried about it because I really don't love the look of the new Mario and Luigi games that much, like Dream Team and Paper Jam. I didn't play Paper Jam, but it looks the same. I don't love the looks of the games. But I like Superstar Saga. I think is the best looking game in the series because I just like that style more, to be honest. So I'm really glad they actually kept a very similar style instead of going with just. They didn't just throw it into Dream Team. That engine. I don't know if it's the same engine, but they didn't just like throw it in there and just like keep it as is. They actually kept the style of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, which is really cool. I don't know if it looks quite as good as the original. I don't know. I'd have to compare them side by side, but it definitely maintains a style which I really, really like. So I'm excited to play that game, and it does seem to be the definitive version because it also has a new mode called Bowser's Minions, which is like another mode, but it's like a story that goes alongside the main game, like it happens at the same time, in which you control Bowser's Minions. Who like you play as like these like Goombas and Koopas and stuff that got separated from Bowser or something, and they're trying to find Bowser, I think, something like that, which I think could be really cool. It could be really funny. I think it's a really good idea for a story, but it seems like I watched a little bit of the Treehouse stream and the gameplay. It seemed kind of weird. It was just like it seemed kind of like one of those games where like you just like. It reminded me of like Clash of Clans, where it's like you like put the units down and they just fight, or maybe like Plants vs Zombies is a better example of that because that's a game I actually really like. Plants vs Zombies, where you just like put the enemies down and they just go attack for you, but it wasn't tower defense; they like ran at them. So actually, it reminded me of Clash Royale, which I've never played, but it seems like I would kind of like it. But where you just like have these enemies and they just go. But so I don't know if I'll like that gameplay. I couldn't really understand how it worked because she didn't even do anything in the demo. She just won automatically. But she said it was because like she altered the save file to make herself super overpowered to make sure she didn't lose or something. I don't know. Because she like works in Nintendo. So I don't know if I'll like the gameplay that much, but hopefully I'll like it, and hopefully it's a good story. And hopefully it's not just in the fights. Hopefully like you can explore the overworld as the enemies too. But I don't think they showed any of that, so I don't know if you can. But I'm excited for that remake nonetheless. I wonder if it'll be $40 or if it'll be cheaper. I think it's coming out in either like late August or early September, something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's something like that. But anyway, I do anticipate that game. I think I'll play it. Next up, last thing they announced in the Treehouse. The only other thing is what was it? This like sushi game. It's like something. I forget what it's called. It's like I'll look it up. I'll look up Nintendo sushi game and see what comes up. Nintendo sushi game, not gamer. Whoops. It's called Sushi Striker: The Way of Sushido. And I watched like a tiny bit. I watched the trailer and I watched I think I just watched the trailer, and it's so weird. It's like I could not tell you what the gameplay is like at all, but I'll put some gameplay up of it right now, I guess. And it's just I don't know. I don't know what to say about this game. It could be cool. It could be not. I have no idea. I have no idea what this game is even like. I can't even tell. It's just like, what is this? What? Look at this. A brand new IP with sushi on the 3DS? Oh my gosh. It's like so, like, I'm kind of like excited for it because like, kind of like the 3DS's last hurrah with a game that really requires both screens, because there's a lot of really fun games that really utilize both screens well. Like, Professor Layton series, I think, is one of them. And this is another example, and like it seems like two screens are really necessary for this game. Even some of the Mario and Luigi games, like Bowser's Inside Story and Dream Team, use both screens for some like giant battles. So like that would be cool if maybe Superstar Saga had that, but I don't think it will because that was originally on the Game Boy Advance. So I don't think they'll add something like that. But it's like kind of sad, like the double screen thing was on the Wii U and the 3DS, and I really like the double screen idea. Now it's gone with the Switch, so it's kind of sad. But last hurrah for the double screen is Sushi Striker: Way of Sushido. I honestly have nothing to say about this game. I have no idea if I'll like it or if it'll be good or not. I really should watch like some of the Treehouse presentation of this game because I really don't understand it, but I'll probably look into it more before it comes out. I don't even know when it's coming out, honestly. There's so much news that came out this week. I've not paid any attention to Sushi Striker: Way of Sushido, but you know what? It seems cool. New IP. Always excited for always glad to see new IPs. So I guess I'll just have to wait and see how that game is. I'll probably learn more about it before it comes out, before I decide if I'll play it or not. But that's pretty much everything that Nintendo announced. So you already heard all my thoughts about everything individually. Now I'm just going to talk very briefly about the conference as a whole and how I would have changed it a little bit if I was in charge of Nintendo. So I think it was a very good E3 press conference. I think that they really, really should have tried. Obviously, for all the things I'm about to say, I'm not in Nintendo's place. I can't just say anyone could be oh, just announced Animal Crossing, and that would make it better. Yeah, of course, announcing a new game would make it better, but you can't just do that. You can't just announce all those games. You have to. So obviously, I'm not in Nintendo's place. I don't know exactly what they could and couldn't do, but I think that they really should have tried to have a title for the new Kirby game and the new Yoshi game, because I think it's a lot better if you can latch on to something. I think it's a lot. I don't know. I just think it's a lot better of an announcement. The headline could be Kirby Justice Inhale announced, and Yoshi 3D Splat 3D Egg Fest announced. Obviously those are not bad titles, which is what I thought of on the spot. But that's just better. Hey, are you excited for Kirby Justice Inhale? Yeah, dude, Kirby Justice Inhale looks sweet. Yoshi 3D Egg Fest though, that's amazing. It's just a lot better if you, and I think if you add if you have a title, a final title when you announce your game, I think that's a lot easier to be excited for. So I think they should have done that. Also, if I was Nintendo, I'm glad they focused on the Switch, and I understand why they kept the 3DS stuff out of the press conference. The only thing I would have done with that, though, is I would have led off. If I can do everything I want, I would have tried to lead off with Super Mario Odyssey, start off with that, only because, and then I would have probably done Kirby, and then, okay, I don't think they should have had, I would have still led off with Super Mario Odyssey instead of Xenoblade, and then had Kirby, and then had, I think, Xenoblade, and then have Yoshi, I think, and then have Fire Emblem Warriors, those are all, and then Rabbids, and then the last thing, instead of being Mario, I think that should have been, then I think they should have shown Return of Samus. So I think that should have been the only, I think they should have showed Rabbids, and that would have been their second to last thing, and they'd be okay, that's almost all of what that's pretty much it for our E3, but we have, and they showed Pokemon somewhere in there too, or talk about it, but before we end, we'd like to show you something, or I feel before we end, we have one final announcement regarding Metroid. And then what they do is they show Metroid, no, not, or they'll be before we, I don't want to say one final announcement because there should be two. Because I kind of feel it'd be cool if they said one and then it was actually two, surprise. But I don't know if they should do that because then they'll be people will be disappointed for a second that the only new thing is a remake. They'll be before we go, we have one more thing to talk about. Metroid. And or it's like we have one more series to talk about, and then it cut. That's the good. Like before we go, we have obviously I'd work on it, but something like that. Before we go, we have one more series to talk about, and then it cuts to Metroid 2: Samus Returns trailer, which I think is a cool title. How they're like changing. It's not Metroid 2. It's just Metroid: Samus Returns. I think it's cool that they're just like remixing the title a little bit for the remake. And it shows that trailer. People are like, what? Metroid? Oh my gosh! And they're like, wait, this is a remake of Metroid 2? Okay, like people will be so excited to see Metroid, so excited for a little bit, and they'll be like, they realize it's a remake, and they'll be like, oh, well, that's still cool. At least we're getting new Metroid, but not as cool as a new Metroid game would be. But it's a cool thing, like new Metroid, cool. And then it cuts. Then it cuts to black, and then the space goes up, and then it shows, boom, Metroid Prime 4. That would be really cool. And then if I can do whatever I want, you show a little teaser trailer for that game. I understand, like, I don't know how far along Metroid Prime 4 is in development. I don't know if they even have anything. I don't know. But they just wanted to, I think, let us know that they're doing it. That's what they announced later. They just wanted to let us know that they haven't forgotten about it, and that they're not just doing Metroid on the 3DS. But, I think if they could have managed a teaser trailer, I think I would have done it all in that order, because that would have been a great way to end it, with just, like, back-to-back Metroid, knowing what everyone wants, and then a little teaser trailer. The only reason, if they can't add a little trailer, then I don't know if that would still be the best way to do things, because like it's a good thing to end with like a lot of gameplay. But even if they didn't, I still think that would have been the best way to do the order. To start with Mario Odyssey and end with the back-to-back Metroid. I think that would have been so cool, because then they have Metroid in the. Because if they had Metroid in the press conference, people would get so hyped. That'd make the spotlight. That'd make the spotlight so much better if they added the 3DS Metroid in there. I think they should have done that and just had that their only 3DS game in there. And then have Superstar Saga and Sushido thing announced later in the Treehouse. But I understand why they did it, why they had it focused on the Switch. I still think that was a good idea, but anyway, that's how I would have done it. Sorry, I just had to cough real quick. Anyway, that was so weird. I'm talking in such a weird way. That was really, really strange. But that's gonna be the video. I know it's not the shortest one in the world, but that's pretty much what I have to say about Nintendo's E3 of 2017. I'm really sorry I couldn't get a predictions video out. I really wanted to. Tried very hard. I had this whole giant thing planned, but alas, did not work out. Didn't have quite enough time. Camera died. Didn't have a charger. Went to Best Buy looking for a charger. Could not find one. Now I got to order on Amazon. It was a pain. If I hadn't just lost the charger, like it's probably somewhere in my house, like in some drawer or something. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure. By the way, some of you. Shit, I meant to. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have cursed. I still don't know how I feel about cursing in my videos or not. But anyway, I was going to mention this in the beginning. Forgot to. Those of you who are looking forward to Bakugan, I haven't done Bakugan in a while, and some people have been commenting about it and like wanting to see more. So I do intend to stream some Bakugan tomorrow on Sunday, assuming this goes up Saturday. Most likely tomorrow, if not Monday. So look forward to hopefully that. If you like have been waiting for Bakugan for a long time, I'm going to do a stream. It'll be like probably over 2 hours, maybe over 3 hours. Who knows? So yeah, there will be some Bakugan coming very, very soon. So thank you for waiting as long as you have. If you are looking forward to that, but it is coming very soon. So almost here. like Metroid. Metroid's been waiting for so long. People have been waiting for Metroid, and now boom, Metroid's coming. 2 Metroid games. That's so cool. It's like flashback to Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion. It's like, you know, when there was like 2 Metroid games, I think they came out the same day, even one on consoles, one in 3D, and then one handhelds, which was 2D. These two are clearly not going to come out on the same day. Metroid Samus Returns is much further ahead than Prime 4, which probably isn't coming out till like at least 2019. But I'm excited nonetheless. It gives me plenty of time to play the rest of the Prime trilogy, which I'm excited to do. And I'm really happy for everyone who's been waiting for this game for so long. Now it's finally announced. But thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.